will be sticking to our time frame, so I'm not going to take up too much of your time with the introduction. For those who don't know me, my name is Vanessa Marish. I'm an empowerment specialist at Salt Essential IT, and I am here today to introduce you to a fantastic new partner that we have onboarded or in process of onboarding, called Pervasent. And today, to talk to us about their solution, we have Nick on the call as well. Nick joins us from, is it sunny Sweden, or where exactly are you located, Nick?
It is in Sweden, although not very sunny, unfortunately.
All right. So let me just put my avatar on because the internet is very unkind today. And I don't want to spoil it for everyone. So yes, Nick from Not So Sunny Sweden, and he's going to talk us through their really amazing solution that they have built. And we are very excited to be able to share that with you today. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand over to Nick and let him take you through today's content. Do bear in mind, we'll try to have a short Q&A at the end of the session, but we will definitely have a feedback form so you can engage with us or with Nick and team afterwards if you need anything else, any more over and above what you're going to see today. So thank you so much, Nick, and take it away.
Thank you, Vanessa, for that nice introduction, and thank you for the opportunity to present Pervasent solutions at this BrainFrame session. So before we dive into the presentation, just a little bit on my background. My name is Nick Pernblad. I am the CTO and co-founder of Pervasent. I thrive on solving complex technical problems and specifically making the lives better for our customers. And I spent 20 years in the United States, partially around Silicon Valley in that area, which was very, very exciting. And I've since moved back to Sweden, where I was born, and now I head up our offices here in not so sunny Sweden. So a quick look at our agenda today. So if you attend meetings, you know about the challenges for having, as a meeting organizer and for the attendees. We're going to talk about some of those. And no surprise, Pervasent, we have a couple of solutions to these challenges. We have two applications we're going to talk about today, which is called Board Papers and Team Papers. And we'll talk a little bit about the value proposition for both the board members or meeting attendees and for the meeting organizers who spend a lot of time creating agendas, uploading documents, and doing that work. All our solutions are built on top of Microsoft 365, so we'll talk a little bit about how that integration works and how you can leverage your investment in M365 already and the security benefits thereof as well. And of course, we're going to do a live demo and talk a little bit about roadmap, AI, and some fun things. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them into the Q&A or chat. We'll talk about those at the end, but we'll try to go through this a little bit quickly as soon as I got a bit of a late start. So with meetings, today's challenges, we're often working in hybrid environments. You have online meetings, you have meetings from home, you got meetings in person, and keeping track of where all that information lives is quite a challenge. You get bombarded with emails and messages from left and right, calendar invites, you don't know where they're coming from. It's really fast-paced and it's hard to keep up to figure out where are my documents, what am I supposed to read before this particular meeting. And as things are swirling such quickly, security becomes a problem. Sometimes you email documents out, which is not very secure. Maybe you added somebody to the CC list that shouldn't be there. But all in the sense of making things go quickly, that becomes a problem. If you have organized meetings where you have to present various documents, you always know that there's going to be last-minute changes to those documents. And that also presents challenges, both for the meeting organizer, in that you have to change these documents, update them, and send them out. And for the meeting attendees, if they get like 5 different versions of a document, how do you know that you're reading the right one? Or is there something else hiding in your spam filter or inbox that you should be reading instead? And also, of course, maximizing the... can we mute the other people? Thank you.
Yeah, but it's still wrong. We should February.
Okay.
My apologies, I've muted.
Thank you. Okay, so let's look at the value proposition from the perspective of board members. So board members or meeting attendees, what they want is they're very busy people. They want to get all the documents in one place. In our case, they're just going to open up their app. They can do that on their own device, an iPad, a Windows laptop, Android device, iPhone, whatever they are comfortable working with. They just open up the app and they have all the documents in one place. They always know that they're updated, so you don't have to hunt around in your inbox to figure out where those documents live. If there's an update that you're missing, everything is up to date in the app. From within the app, you can also make notes on your documents, to make highlights and other things to prepare for your meeting. There are also functions for doing electronic signing and voting in the app as well. And of course, it works both offline and online. So if you're traveling and you want to make use of that travel time, you can still read your documents, annotate the documents, and prepare for your meeting. So that is the benefits to the board members and meeting attendees. Then we have the overlooked work of the board secretaries or the meeting organizers. So they're responsible for setting up the agenda, distributing documents, and getting that out in a timely manner to all the meeting attendees. They have to update things. Of course, agendas change, documents change, and they want to make sure everybody is on the same page. And then after the meeting, they may be responsible for taking care of the meeting minutes or archived in the pack so that you have them for posterity afterwards. So this is where Pervasent comes in with our applications, board papers, and team papers. We make this a whole lot easier. As I mentioned a couple of times, board papers and team papers is built on top of Microsoft 365. What is very important about this is that the data lives in your Microsoft 365 tenant. So we at Pervasent, we have no access to your data. We don't want to see your sensitive documents. You don't want to share it with anybody else. It's just between you and, of course, Microsoft, who's hosting this in a very secure manner. For the meeting organizers, when they create the agenda and upload documents, they're going to do that in Teams. Many of you spend a good portion of your days already inside the Teams application. So you're going to feel right at home inside Teams, adding agendas, uploading documents, just like you're familiar with doing today. So we have clients today in more than 35 countries. We are headquartered in California. And a couple of years ago, I opened up the office here in Sweden with my colleagues. And from here, we can take care of our customers in Europe and Africa within the same time zone. And as you can see here on this list, we've got a couple or several customers in Namibia and surrounding countries. So you'll be in good company. So today we are going to be focusing on the Team Papers app for the demo. And the app comes in two different parts. There's the app that you install on your iPad or on your Windows computer. It's a free download from the Microsoft Store or the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. So you can download it today after this call if you want to and play around with it. There's a demo button that you can click on after you install it to get a sense of how this looks and works. So that is the app that the meeting attendees use to get their documents, read them, annotate them before the meeting. The second part of the solution is the Team Papers administrator interface, which is done in Teams, and I'll show you that as the second part of the demo. So let me just quickly switch over to the Team Papers app. So as excuse me. So I mentioned the Team Papers app is available on all the different platforms. I'm showing you the iPad version here. So I have already logged in this app, but you should know that the app uses the standard Microsoft login. So your users don't have to learn yet another login, yet another username and password to remember. It's going to be your standard Windows or Microsoft 365 login credentials. If you have a board, for example, maybe your employees are internal to your Active Directory, but you have external directors, not a problem. You can just invite those as external guests into the system. And of course, we support multi-factor authentication and all those security measures that are available in Microsoft 365. So once you have logged in, you're going to see this view here with all the different meetings. Each meeting is represented by these different books. I can see the meeting date, the location if I'm meeting in person. You can put it the various notes. I can see this meeting is called the Acme Apex merger. I got 11 documents to read here, and it is in the Pervasent channel. And I can just scroll back and forth here and see some of the other meetings. And you can see there are different cover styles. You can add your logo here as well to really make it customized for your purposes and for your organization. And over here, we got a meeting that's upcoming. So it says the documents are not yet published. So we do have a bit of a workflow to make sure that only documents and meetings that are complete and ready to be published are made available to the meeting attendees. So let me just tap on this cover. And on the left-hand side here, I'm going to see the agenda for this meeting. So this agenda was set up in Teams by the meeting organizer, where you got all the different agenda items, the different documents attached to the agenda items, and you just work your way through these, click on a document, start reading it. And of course, I can zoom in, zoom out, rotate my device, what makes it most comfortable for my reading. At the top right here, I always have access to my annotation tools, so I can highlight things or circle things. I can add text notes. So this is how I mark up my documents and prepare for my meeting. I can also, by default, all these document annotations that I make on these documents are private just to me, only I see them. But I can click on this little figure here. Now it turns it to 2 people. That means I'm sharing it with everybody else in this meeting. So this is a way to collaborate or highlight the fact that you want to have a discussion about this or point out some errors or some things that you want to talk about in the meeting. So that way you have a bit of a collaboration on these documents before them. But keep in mind, the documents are read-only to you as the meeting attendee, so you can rest assured that the meeting attendees are not modifying the documents. Everybody sees and reads the same document. Once I've made my notes in the documents, I can bring up this view here, and here I can see a list of all the notes that I've made for these documents for this meeting. And this is great when I'm sitting in the meeting itself and I want to bring up any questions or any comments that I had. So instead of in the olden days, you had a stack of papers in front of you with lots of sticky notes or dog-ear pages, and you're trying to flip through and keep up as you're going through the meeting quickly. Here, just bring up this list and you can just tap on the note, go straight to that document, straight to that page, and you can bring it up in the right context as you're sitting in the meeting. So those are the annotations. We also have voting features. So here we have a merger vote. If I click on that, it will ask a question. And should we approve this agreement? Yes, no. Various options you can choose from here. I can add any optional comment. And I can also view the results. And that way I can see how many people have voted for different options. And let's take one that has already voted for. So here you can see that was 1 vote for this option here. You don't see the names of people who have voted. Those are recorded on the server side, so you know for record of who has voted for what. But in order to maintain vote secrecy, you just see the tallies here inside the app. You may see in front of some of these documents a little blue dot. That means those are unread documents. So you can easily keep track of what you have to read, what you still need to work on as you're going through this agenda. We have an electronic signing feature. So here it tells me I've got 4 different pages to sign. I've already signed 2 of them. So let me take this one here and I can take this special signing tool and I can add my signature to this particular document. And this is automatically sent to the board secretary so they can print out a page with all the different people's signatures on it. So those are some of the features that you have available as the meeting attendee as you are reading and preparing for your meetings. If you belong to lots of boards or committees, you can show those in a little bit smaller view here. And there's also a filter view, so you can filter by your different teams and channels that you belong to. So you can really narrow down to see what really meetings that you are interested in at any given time. And by default, when you launch the app, it's going to scroll to next upcoming meeting. So here I got some meetings in November that is upcoming. So when I launch the app, those will be front and center inside the app. So that is the Team Papers app that is available for the meeting attendees. We have a little bit more time left, so let me switch over to the server side, which is going to show us the view for the board secretary or for the meeting organizer. So here we got a view of Teams, which should be familiar to you. We got all your different teams and channels here on the left-hand side. I've selected the Pervasent channel, and here I've got the Team Papers tab, which is installed as an app inside Teams. And here I can see lots of meetings that have been scheduled for this particular channel. And from here, I can quickly add new meetings. I got lots of fields to fill out. I can easily check a little box here to make this a Teams meeting. This will make it available in your meeting attendees' calendars automatically. And you also get the nice audio and video conferencing system for Teams. And once I've set things up for the meeting, then I can go in and start working on the agenda. So here at the bottom, I see all my different agenda items. I can easily just add more agenda items, adding prefix, subjects, time allocation. Most of the fields here are optional, so you don't have to fill out everything. Only the ones with little red star are required. So we really want to make it easy for you to get going, filling out these forms, filling out what you really need to do. And then you just attach documents. You can just drag and drop documents straight in from your computer and then drop them onto the right agenda item if you want to do that. Or you can upload documents from within OneDrive or from the channel, whatever works for you. And you can pick a Word document, for example. It will automatically convert that to a PDF if that's what you want to do, and pick which agenda item it should belong to. If there's an update to a document, all you need to do is upload that updated document, and the system will automatically recognize that this is a new version of the document and make sure all the meeting attendees get that version and that update. So you don't have to worry about somebody reading an old version of a document. And here we can see you can set up that voting options. So I can see here and who has voted for all the different items. So I voted apparently for the Sequoia suite on this day, and this was a comment I added. So that way you have a permanent record of all the votings and the resolutions that have been passed in this particular meeting. And really quickly up here, you can download a consolidated meeting PDF. You can email the meeting attendees using different templates, sending them out a list of the agenda that you've already created inside the system. We have features for doing meeting minutes. You can do that in OneNote or download as a Word template and get a good head start of your meeting minutes. So that is the view for the meeting organizer or the board secretary. And we are almost done here. Let me just switch straight back to my presentation. Roadmap, let's talk quickly. AI is, of course, all the rage these days. We are working with Microsoft to incorporate Copilot into the system. So imagine, for example, that you have your meetings, you're using Teams, you're using the transcription service, and we can use that and Copilot and bring in like a summary of each agenda item into your system so that when you're creating the meeting minutes, half of your job is already done. We're also working on integration with Microsoft To Do or Planner, so you can assign tasks directly from within the meeting interface, and also doing an Teams in-meeting extension. So as you're sitting in your Teams meeting, you can follow along which agenda item are you at and how long how many more minutes is it for this agenda item, so you can keep meetings on track. So again, thank you so much for your attention here for this very quick demo. If you want to have a little bit more leisurely paced and customized demo for your company, please reach out to Salt or to ourselves, and we'll be happy to do that. We also do offer a 60-day free trial environment. So if you want to try this out yourselves, make sure that it works for your exact meetings, your type of documents, your board members. I know board members are not always eager to adopt new technologies. So you may want to have them give it a trial first before you decide to make a purchase. And we do offer that as well. So with that, back to you, Vanessa. Oh, you're on mute, I think. Vanessa, are you there? Are there any? There we go.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Apologies. We're having really bad internet, and it's having a terrible effect on my day. So, but thank you so very much, Nick. I loved it. It was short and sweet and to the point, and I love the idea of having the free trial. So definitely, that's very exciting. So we're really looking forward to engaging with our audience and seeing how we can get this going for them. So thank you so very much for your time today. We really appreciate it. And thank you so much to all the attendees. We do have a few minutes left, so I would like to open the floor. I see there was a question from Caroline. Can the presentation be shared via email? Nick, I think that should be okay. Yeah?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. So we can share that via email. We'll share it with you. Not a problem. So I'd like to open the floor now just for everyone. If someone does have a question for Nick before we can close the session for today. Any questions, any feedback? Silence from the team. Maybe they're also having issues unmuting themselves. Okay, but just as a recap, we will definitely there will be a feedback form. There's going to be an email, and there's going to be a feedback form that you can complete with next steps, as in I'm interested in a trial, or I'm interested in a further meeting, or a proof of concept, or a demo. So please watch out for that one. Then we will also share the presentation via email. We will also share the link to the recording to everyone that did register today, but unfortunately, due to it not pulling through to the calendars, we probably don't even have half the people on that were supposed to join. So definitely we'll be sharing the recording, and we will also be posting the recording on YouTube and share the link with everyone. So thank you so very much, everybody, for attending. Maybe one last go. Any questions? Any feedback? Can we see some love for Nick? The reaction button is there for us to use. Thank you so much. It was brilliant. Anything from the audience?
Oh, Caroline has raised her hand.
Yes, Caroline. Okay, I think she meant to give us some love. Thank you so much, Caroline. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And that wraps it up for BrainFrame Thursday. Thanks again to Nick from Pervasent for showcasing their fantastic solutions. And we will probably see you guys again in the new year, same time, same place. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week ahead.